Esteemed audience, I stand before you today with a message of paramount importance, one that possesses the power to revolutionize your existence in ways you may have never fathomed. The subject of our discourse lies at the very core of your being, shaping your reality and determining the trajectory of your life. We are gathered here to explore the profound truth that you must direct your attention to your inner self, for no other individual will undertake this task on your behalf. You might inquire, what do you mean by focusing on one's inner self? Is it not something predetermined by our genetic makeup and upbringing? My dear audience, allow me to assure you that nothing could be further from the truth. Your inner self, your very essence, is a living, breathing manifestation of your imagination and beliefs. It is a canvas upon which you paint the portrait of your desired self, and it is through this act of creation that you mold your reality. Consider for a moment the immense power that resides within you. You are not merely a passive observer of your life, reacting to circumstances as they unfold. No, you are the author of your narrative, the sculptor of your reality. Every thought you entertain, every belief you hold, every assumption you make about yourself and the world around you, these are the tools with which you craft your inner self and, by extension, your entire existence. But why, you may wonder, is it so crucial that you focus on your inner self? Why must you shoulder this responsibility that no one else can bear for you? The answer, my friends, lies in the very nature of consciousness itself. You see, your consciousness is the only reality. The world you perceive, the experiences you have, the relationships you form, all of these are but reflections of your inner state, your true self. Imagine, if you will, that your consciousness is akin to a projector, and the world around you is the screen upon which your inner reality is projected. Every aspect of your life, your successes and failures, your joys and sorrows, your abundance and lack, all of these are images projected from within you. They are the outward manifestation of your inward assumptions and beliefs about yourself and the world. Now, if this is true, and I assure you it is, can you perceive the immense importance of focusing on your inner self? For if your inner state is the source of your entire life experience, then by changing your inner self, by consciously shaping it according to your desires, you have the power to transform your entire world. Let us delve deeper into this profound truth. Your inner self is not something separate from you. It is not a mask you wear or a role you play. Your inner self is you in your totality. It is the sum of your thoughts, your beliefs, your assumptions, your habits, and your reactions. It is the lens through which you perceive and interpret the world, and it is the mold into which your experiences are cast. When I speak of focusing on your inner self, I am not suggesting that you should become self-absorbed or narcissistic. Far from it. What I am urging you to do is to become aware of the immense power that resides within you, to recognize that you are the operant power in your life, and to take conscious control of the shaping of your inner world. You see, my dear audience, the vast majority of people go through life unaware of this fundamental truth. They believe that their inner self is fixed, that they are at the mercy of external circumstances, that their lives are shaped by forces beyond their control. And because they believe this, because they assume it to be true, it becomes their reality. They surrender their power to create, to change, to become, and in doing so, they condemn themselves to lives of limitation and unfulfillment. But you who are here today, you who are willing to open your minds to this liberating truth, you have the opportunity to reclaim your power, to take control of your inner self, and in doing so, to reshape your entire world. For when you change your inner self, when you change your basic assumptions about yourself and the world, you change the very foundation upon which your life is built. Consider for a moment the various aspects of your life that you may wish to change. Perhaps you desire greater success in your career, more fulfilling relationships, improved health, or greater abundance. Many people, when faced with such desires, look to external solutions. They seek new jobs, new partners, new diets, or new financial strategies. And while these external actions may bring temporary changes, they rarely result in lasting transformation. Why? Because they have not addressed the root cause, the source from which all their experiences spring forth. They have not changed their inner self, their inner state of being. They have not altered their fundamental assumptions about themselves and their place in the world. But you, my friends, you now know better. You understand that if you wish to change your outer world, you must first change your inner world. You must focus on your inner self, on your state of consciousness, for it is from this wellspring that all your experiences flow. Let me provide an example to illustrate this point. Imagine two individuals, both of whom desire financial abundance. The first person focuses solely on external actions, working long hours, seeking better paying jobs, investing in various schemes. Yet deep within, this person holds beliefs of lack, of unworthiness, of financial struggle. Despite all their external efforts, they find that abundance continues to elude them. Now consider the second person. This individual understands the power of the inner self. Instead of frantically chasing external solutions, they turn their attention inward. They examine their beliefs about money, about abundance, about their own worthiness to receive. They consciously cultivate an inner state of abundance, a state of wealth and prosperity. They live from the assumption that they are already abundant, that the universe is infinitely generous, that they are worthy of all good things. Which of these two individuals do you think is more likely to experience true, lasting abundance? The answer is clear, is it not? The second person, by focusing on their inner self, by consciously shaping their inner state, has aligned themselves with the very essence of abundance. And in doing so, they have set in motion forces that will manifest that abundance in their outer world. This, my dear audience, is the power of focusing on your inner self. It is the key to unlocking the infinite potential that resides within you. For when you change your inner self, when you change your basic assumptions about yourself and the world, you change the very fabric of your reality. But let me be clear, this work of focusing on your inner self, of consciously shaping your inner state, is not something that anyone else can do for you. It is a responsibility that you alone must shoulder. No one else can think your thoughts for you. No one else can hold your beliefs for you. No one else can make your assumptions for you. This power, this responsibility, lies solely with you. And this, my friends, is why it is so crucial that you focus on your inner self, because no one is going to do it for you. The world is full of people who will offer you advice, who will try to shape you according to their own ideas and beliefs. But only you have the power to truly shape your inner world and, by extension, your outer reality. Now, you may be wondering, how does one go about focusing on their inner self? How does one consciously shape their inner state? The answer lies in the power of your imagination. For your imagination is not merely a faculty for daydreaming or escapism. Your imagination is the very workshop in which you forge your reality. When I speak of imagination, I am not referring to idle fantasy or wishful thinking. I am speaking of the controlled, conscious use of your imaginative faculty to impress upon your subconscious mind the reality you wish to experience. For your subconscious mind does not distinguish between what you vividly imagine and what you actually experience in the outer world. To your subconscious, they are one and the same. This, my friends, is the key to focusing on your inner self, to consciously shaping your inner state. You must learn to use your imagination to live from the end, to experience in your mind's eye the reality you wish to manifest. You must learn to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, to embody the state of being you desire to achieve. Let me give you a practical example of how this works. Suppose you wish to cultivate an inner state of confidence and self-assurance. Many people, when faced with such a desire, might try to feign confidence externally while still harboring doubts and insecurities within. But this approach is doomed to failure, for it does not address the root cause, the inner state, the inner self. Instead, I urge you to use your imagination to experience what it would feel like to be truly confident and self-assured. Close your eyes and imagine yourself moving through the world with unshakable confidence. Feel the relaxation in your body, the ease in your movements. Hear the strength and assurance in your voice as you speak. See the respect and admiration in the eyes of those around you. Experience this state as vividly as you can, engaging all your senses. And as you do so, allow yourself to feel the naturalness of the state. For remember, this confident, self-assured you is not some future version of yourself that you must strive to become. It is your true self, your real inner self, obscured perhaps by years of contrary beliefs and assumptions, but never truly lost or destroyed. As you engage in this imaginative act, you are not pretending or play acting. You are revealing your true self, your real inner self. You are impressing upon your subconscious mind the truth of who you really are. And as you persist in this practice, as you continue to live from this assumption of confidence and self-assurance, you will find that your outer world begins to reflect this inner state. This, my dear friends, is the essence of focusing on your inner self. It is not about trying to become something you are not. It is about revealing and expressing who you truly are beneath the layers of limiting beliefs and false assumptions that you have accumulated over the years. And this is why no one else can do this work for you. For no one else knows the true you, the real you, as intimately as you do. No one else can access your imagination, can feel your feelings, can make your assumptions. This power, this responsibility, lies solely with you. Now, I can hear some of you thinking, but this sounds too good to be true. Surely it can't be as simple as imagining what we want and then experiencing it in reality? And to this, I say, it is both simpler and more challenging than you might think. It is simpler in that the principle itself is straightforward. Your imagination, coupled with the feeling of the wish fulfilled, is the creative power of the universe. What you imagine and feel as real, your subconscious accepts as fact and then works tirelessly to make manifest in your outer world. But it is challenging in that it requires a complete revision of your habitual thinking. It demands that you relinquish your old beliefs about the nature of reality, about cause and effect, about your own limitations. It requires a leap of faith, a willingness to trust in the power of your own consciousness to shape your reality. And this, my friends, is why focusing on your inner self is not a task for the faint of heart. It is not for those who prefer to remain in their comfort zone, clinging to their familiar limitations and excuses. It is for those who are willing to take full responsibility for their lives, who are ready to claim their power as conscious creators of their reality. But oh, the rewards that await those who embark on this journey of self-discovery and self-creation. For when you focus on your inner self, when you consciously shape your inner state according to your desires, you set in motion forces that will transform every aspect of your life. You will find that opportunities that once seemed out of reach now present themselves effortlessly. Relationships that were once strained become harmonious and fulfilling. Abundance that once seemed elusive now flows to you naturally. For when you change your inner self, you change the very foundation upon which your life is built. But remember, my dear audience, this transformation does not happen overnight. It is not a one-time event but an ongoing process of self-discovery and self-creation. It requires patience, persistence, and above all, faith in the power of your own consciousness. You must be willing to persist in your new assumption even when your outer world has not yet caught up with your inner changes. You must be willing to remain faithful to your imaginal act even when doubts and fears arise. For it is in these moments of challenge that your faith is tested and strengthened. Consider the example of a seed planted in the ground. Once planted, the seed begins its transformation immediately. But to the outside observer, nothing appears to have changed. The soil remains undisturbed, showing no sign of the miraculous transformation taking place beneath the surface. It is only after a period of time, after the seed has undergone its inner transformation, that the first shoots break through the soil, providing visible evidence of the change. And even then, it takes more time for the plant to grow to its full stature, to blossom and bear fruit. Your inner self, your inner state, is like that seed. When you begin to focus on it, when you begin to consciously shape it according to your desires, the change begins immediately. But it may take time for this inner change to manifest fully in your outer world. This is why patience and persistence are so crucial in this work of focusing on your inner self. You must have faith in the unseen, in the inner transformation that is taking place, even when your outer world seems unchanged. You must continue to live from your new assumption, to embody your desired state, regardless of appearances. For remember, your outer world is but a reflection of your inner state. It is the shadow cast by your consciousness. And just as it takes time for a shadow to adjust when the object casting it moves, so too does it take time for your outer world to fully reflect your inner changes. But make no mistake, my dear friends, the change is inevitable. For when you persist in your new assumption, When you remain faithful to your imaginal act, you are harnessing the very power that creates worlds. You are aligning yourself with the creative force of the universe itself. And this brings us to another crucial aspect of focusing on your inner self, the need for unwavering faith. When I speak of faith, I am not referring to blind belief or wishful thinking. I am speaking of an unshakable confidence in the power of your own consciousness to shape your reality. This faith is not something that is given to you from outside. It is not bestowed upon you by some external authority. It is a power that resides within you, waiting to be claimed and exercised. It is the certainty that what you have imagined and felt as real must, by the very laws of consciousness, manifest in your outer world. But how does one cultivate such faith? How does one develop this unwavering confidence in the power of their own consciousness? The answer lies in experience, in putting these principles to the test in your own life. Start with small things. Choose an aspect of your inner self that you wish to change, something relatively minor that doesn't arouse too much resistance or disbelief. Perhaps you wish to be more punctual, or more organized, or more patient. Use your imagination to experience what it would feel like to embody this new trait. Feel the naturalness of it, the ease with which you express this aspect of your inner self. Persist in this assumption, this feeling, regardless of outer appearances. And as you do so, watch for the signs of change in your outer world. Notice how circumstances begin to arrange themselves to support your new self-concept. Observe how your behavior naturally aligns with your new assumption without struggle or effort. As you accumulate these experiences, as you see the power of your consciousness at work in your life, your faith will grow. You will begin to understand, not just intellectually but experientially, that your inner self is truly the operant power in your life. And as your faith grows, so too will your willingness to tackle bigger changes, to imagine and assume greater things for yourself. For you will have proven to yourself, beyond any shadow of doubt, that what you imagine and feel as real must manifest in your reality. This, my dear friends, is the journey of focusing on your inner self. It is a journey of self-discovery and self-creation, a journey that will lead you to the realization of your true power as a conscious creator of your reality. But let me remind you once again, this journey is one that you alone can undertake. No one else can do this work for you. No one else can imagine for you, feel for you, assume for you. This power, this responsibility, lies solely with you. And this is why it is so crucial that you focus on your inner self, because no one is going to do it for you. The world is full of people who will try to tell you who you are, who will try to impose their limitations upon you. But you, and you alone, have the power to define yourself, to shape your inner self according to your desires. Now, as we delve deeper into this topic, let us consider the various aspects of the inner self that you might choose to focus on. For your inner self is not a monolithic entity, but a complex tapestry woven from many threads. There's your self-concept, the fundamental beliefs you hold about who you are and what you're capable of. There are your habits, the automatic behaviors and responses that shape your daily life. There are your values, the principles that guide your decisions and actions. There are your emotional patterns, the habitual ways in which you respond to life's experiences. Each of these aspects of your inner self plays a crucial role in shaping your reality, and each of them is subject to your conscious control, if only you choose to exercise it. Let's begin with your self-concept. This is perhaps the most fundamental aspect of your inner self, for it underlies all else. Your self-concept is the set of beliefs you hold about who you are, what you're capable of, what you deserve. It is the foundation upon which your entire inner self is built. Many people go through life with a self-concept that was largely formed in childhood, shaped by the opinions and expectations of others. They carry within them limiting beliefs about their abilities, their worth, their potential. And because they hold these beliefs, because they assume them to be true, they create a reality that confirms them. But you, my dear audience, now know better. You understand that your self-concept is not fixed or immutable. It is a creation of your consciousness, and as such, it can be changed at will. You have the power to consciously choose the beliefs you hold about yourself, to craft a self-concept that aligns with your desires and aspirations. Imagine for a moment the person you would most like to be, not in terms of external achievements or possessions, but in terms of your essential qualities. Perhaps you see yourself as confident, capable, and charismatic. Perhaps you envision yourself as wise, compassionate, and insightful. Whatever qualities you most admire and desire, know that they are already within you, waiting to be recognized and expressed. Now, using your imagination, step into the shoes of this ideal version of yourself. Feel what it would be like to embody these qualities fully. Experience the confidence in your bearing, the wisdom in your thoughts, the compassion in your heart. Allow yourself to feel the naturalness of this state. For remember, this is not some future version of yourself that you must strive to become. It is your true self, your real inner self, perhaps obscured by years of contrary beliefs, but never truly lost. As you persist in this assumption, as you continue to live from this elevated self-concept, you will find that your outer world begins to reflect this inner change. People will respond to you differently. Opportunities will present themselves that align with your new self-image. And you will find yourself naturally acting in ways that confirm your new beliefs about yourself. This, my friends, is the power of focusing on your self-concept. It is the key to unlocking your true potential, to becoming the person you were always meant to be. But your self-concept is just one aspect of your inner self. Let us now turn our attention to your habits, those automatic behaviors and responses that shape your daily life. Many people believe that their habits are fixed, that they are at the mercy of ingrained patterns of behavior. But nothing could be further from the truth. Your habits, like every other aspect of your inner self, are creations of your consciousness. They are patterns that you have established through repetition, through consistent assumption. And just as you created them, so too can you change them. The key to changing your habits lies not in willpower or external discipline, but in changing your self-concept. For when you change your fundamental assumptions about who you are, your habits naturally align themselves with your new self-image. Consider, for example, the habit of procrastination. Many people struggle with this habit, believing themselves to be inherently lazy or unmotivated. They try to force themselves to be more productive through sheer willpower, but find themselves falling back into old patterns time and time again. But what if, instead of fighting against this habit, you were to change your self-concept? What if you were to assume the state of being a highly productive, motivated individual? What if you were to live from the assumption that taking immediate action is natural and enjoyable for you? As you persist in this new assumption, as you continue to embody this new state of being, you would find that your habit of procrastination naturally falls away, for it is no longer in alignment with your new self-concept. You would find yourself naturally taking action, not out of discipline or force, but because it is simply who you are. This principle applies to all habits, whether they be related to health, relationships, work, or any other area of life. When you change your self-concept, when you assume a new state of being, your habits naturally align themselves with your new assumption. Now, let us turn our attention to your values, those fundamental principles that guide your decisions and actions. Many people believe that their values are fixed, determined by their upbringing or cultural background. But like every other aspect of your inner self, your values are subject to your conscious control. Your values are not imposed upon you from outside. They are choices that you make, assumptions that you hold about what is important, what is worthwhile, what is meaningful. And as such, they can be changed at will, if only you choose to do so. Consider for a moment the values that currently guide your life. Are they truly your own, chosen consciously and deliberately? Or are they inherited beliefs, accepted without question from your family, your culture, your society? I urge you to examine your values closely, to question them, to determine whether they truly serve you in creating the life you desire. And if you find that they do not, know that you have the power to choose new values, to adopt new guiding principles that align with your deepest desires and aspirations. Perhaps you value security over growth, comfort over adventure, conformity over self-expression. If these values no longer serve you, if they limit you from becoming the person you wish to be, then choose new values. Choose to value growth over security, adventure over comfort, self-expression over conformity. And as you make these new choices, as you assume these new values, live from them. Allow them to guide your decisions, to shape your actions. For it is through lived experience that your new values become integrated into your inner self, becoming as natural and effortless as breathing. Lastly, let us consider your emotional patterns, those habitual ways in which you respond to life's experiences. Many people believe that their emotions are beyond their control, that they are at the mercy of their feelings. But this too is a limiting belief, one that denies your true power as a conscious creator. Your emotions are not reactions to external events. They are reflections of your inner state, of your assumptions and beliefs about yourself and the world. And as such, they too are subject to your conscious control. This does not mean suppressing or denying your emotions. Far from it. It means recognizing that you have the power to choose your emotional states, to cultivate the feelings that align with your desires and aspirations. If you find yourself habitually experiencing negative emotions, anger, fear, jealousy, resentment, know that these are not fixed reactions, but choices that you are making, perhaps unconsciously. They are reflections of your current assumptions and beliefs. But you have the power to make new choices, to assume new states of being. You have the power to choose joy over sorrow, love over fear, gratitude over resentment. And as you persist in these new choices, as you continue to assume these elevated emotional states, you will find that they become your natural way of being. This, my dear audience, is the essence of focusing on your inner self. It is about recognizing your power as a conscious creator, about taking responsibility for every aspect of your inner world. It is about choosing deliberately who you will be, rather than accepting passively who you have been. And this is why no one else can do this work for you. For no one else has access to your inner world, to your thoughts, your beliefs, your assumptions. No one else can make these choices for you, can assume these states for you. This power, this responsibility, lies solely with you. But oh, the rewards that await those who undertake this journey of self-creation. For when you focus on your inner self, when you consciously shape your inner world according to your desires, you set in motion forces that will transform every aspect of your life. You will find that your outer world begins to reflect your inner changes. Opportunities that once seemed out of reach now present themselves effortlessly. Relationships become more harmonious and fulfilling. Abundance flows to you naturally. For when you change your inner self, you change the very foundation upon which your life is built. But remember, this transformation does not happen overnight. It is not a one-time event, but an ongoing process of self-discovery and self-creation. It requires patience, persistence, and above all, faith in the power of your own consciousness. You must be willing to persist in your new assumptions even when your outer world has not yet caught up with your inner changes. You must be willing to remain faithful to your imaginal acts even when doubts and fears arise. For it is in these moments of challenge that your faith is tested and strengthened. And as you persist, as you remain faithful to your vision of who you truly are, you will find that your life begins to transform in ways you may have never thought possible. You will discover depths of creativity, of wisdom, of love within yourself that you never knew existed. You will unlock potentials and abilities that you may have never dreamed you possessed. For you see, my dear friends, when you focus on your inner self, when you consciously shape your inner world, you are not becoming something you are not. You are revealing who you truly are beneath the layers of limiting beliefs and false assumptions. You are allowing your true self, your real inner self, to shine forth in all its glory. And this is the greatest gift you can give to yourself and to the world. For as you allow your true self to emerge, as you express your unique gifts and talents fully, you contribute to the unfolding of the divine plan in ways that only you can. So I urge you, my dear audience, focus on your inner self. Take responsibility for your inner world. Choose deliberately who you will be, rather than accepting passively who you have been. For no one else can do this work for you, and the rewards that await you are beyond measure. Remember, you are not bound by your past, by your circumstances, or by the opinions of others. You are a divine being, possessed of infinite potential, capable of reshaping your entire world through the power of your consciousness. Embrace this truth, live from it, and watch as your life transforms in miraculous ways. For when you change your inner self, when you change your basic assumptions about yourself and the world, you change the very fabric of your reality. And in doing so, you step into the fullness of who you truly are, becoming a radiant expression of the divine in human form. This, my dear friends, is your birthright. This is your destiny. And it all begins with the simple yet profound act of focusing on your inner self, of consciously shaping your inner world according to your highest vision of yourself. So go forth, my friends, with this knowledge. Apply these principles in your life. Test them, prove them to yourself. For it is only through your own experience that you will truly come to understand the immense power that resides within you. And as you do so, as you embark on this journey of self-discovery and self-creation, know that you are not alone. The entire universe conspires to support you in this endeavor. For as you align yourself with your true self, as you express your divine nature more fully, you align yourself with the very power that creates worlds. So focus on your inner self, my dear audience. Shape your inner world with intention and purpose. For in doing so, you are not only transforming your own life, but you are contributing to the transformation of the entire world. For as you change, the world changes with you. As you elevate your consciousness, you elevate the consciousness of all humanity. This is the power that resides within you. This is the responsibility that is yours to claim. And this is why no one else can do this work for you. For you, and you alone, have been given the divine gift of your own consciousness, your own imagination, your own power to create. Use this gift wisely, my friends. Use it to reveal the magnificence of who you truly are. Use it to create a life that reflects your highest vision of yourself. Use it to bring more love, more joy, more beauty into the world. For when you focus on your inner self, when you consciously shape your inner world, you are engaging in the highest form of creativity. You are participating in the divine act of creation itself. And in doing so, you are fulfilling your true purpose, your divine destiny. So go forth, my dear audience, with courage and conviction. Focus on your inner self, shape your inner world, and watch as miracles unfold in your life. For you are the miracle. You are the creator. You are the divine made manifest. Embrace this truth. Live from it. And let your light shine forth for all the world to see. For in the end, this is what it means to be truly alive. This is what it means to be fully human. This is what it means to be the divine in expression. And it all begins with the simple yet profound act of focusing on your inner self, of consciously shaping your inner world according to your highest vision of yourself. So let this be your practice, your devotion, your sacred duty. For in doing so, you are not only transforming your own life, but you are contributing to the transformation of the entire world. And there is no greater gift that you can give, no higher purpose that you can serve. Remember, my dear friends, you are the author of your story, the creator of your reality. Write a story worthy of your divine nature. Create a reality that reflects the magnificence of who you truly are. For this is your birthright, your destiny, your divine purpose. And it all begins with you, with your choice to focus on your inner self, to consciously shape your inner world. No one else can do this work for you. But oh, the rewards that await those who undertake this sacred journey. For in focusing on your inner self, in consciously shaping your inner world, you are stepping into the fullness of who you truly are, becoming a radiant expression of the divine in human form. This is your calling, my dear audience. This is your destiny. Embrace it fully, live it joyfully, and watch as your life transforms in ways you may have never thought possible. For when you focus on your inner self, when you consciously shape your inner world, you are aligning yourself with the very power that creates worlds. And in doing so, you become a co-creator with the divine, shaping not only your own life but the very fabric of reality itself. So go forth, my friends, with this knowledge, with this power, with this responsibility. Focus on your inner self, shape your inner world, and become the radiant, magnificent being you were always meant to be. For in doing so, you are fulfilling your divine purpose and contributing to the unfolding of the grand cosmic plan in ways that only you can. Remember, the power is within you. The choice is yours. The time is now. Focus on your inner self, for no one else can do it for you. And in doing so, step into the fullness of your divine nature and let your light shine forth for all the world to see.